Seeing as a lot of you didn't appreciate the talking head telling you about what race is coming up, I thought I'll get straight to it this time. So no messing around, going straight into the race here, lining up in our good positions, waiting for the lights to go on, and then out and we go racing. This is a really good one, guys. Enjoy. Good start, little bit of wheel spin. Back off here because I see the yellow flags. Really should have just gone for it and followed Tom through. Craig Pollard goes flying down the outside now. Get past Chaz here. Know he's going to oversteer, so just let him do that and then have to switch back and get the run down the hill. Moving to the centre of the track to defend against Chaz, trying to keep up with the pack. Coming into the hairpin at the end of this straight here, knowing that everyone's going to bunch up. See some smoke, someone's locked up there, so assuming that there might be a problem. Everyone's bunching up here, trying to get a good run out the hairpin, but unfortunately no grip there, and Chaz, who used a wide outside line to get a much better exit as we're flying down this straight into the chicane. Heavy under braking, very close there to hitting David. Really should have followed Chaz down the inside on the right. Tom's front wing goes flying. Lack of traction for everyone here coming out, including myself. Two very fast right-hand corners coming up here. A few people over the weekend have gone off straight here and into the barrier, so taking it a bit cautiously with colder tyres, just trying to keep up with the pack who are very, very close together here. Down the back straight, coming to the last corner. Heavy under braking, trying to stay to the right and go up the inside of David. Scrubbing a bit of oversteer off there with the wheel, and then racing wheel to wheel with David down the main straight. Contemplating a move into turn one here up the inside, but just don't want to understeer into the side of him. It's early on in the race, going just a bit off the track there. Hand up just to the marshal, just to let them know that that wasn't intentional. David slowing early there, thought about up the inside, still having a look because Rob's blocking him. But here we go, they are wheel to wheel down this straight. Very close to touching there. The hairpin braking zone starting just after that little bump there. Unfortunately, David goes straight ahead, locking up off the track. There was a hairpin sign just on the left before that. He was using it as a marker and that was removed just before the race, which was unfortunate. Got a better exit than Rob here, giving him a run for his money down to the chicane here, but he blocks me off quite nicely. This yellow and red striped flag on the left here indicating something on the track. As we go through the chicane, you see a piece of Tom's wing on the right there. Rob getting a little earlier on the brakes than he has been before, so managed to avoid any problems there, and now we're much closer to him for this back straight. He moves over to the right to defend for the final corner. Wow, very lucky there not to be worse off. So here what I've done is locked up under braking, adjusted the wheel to try and take out some of the skid and try and gain traction. Just tap the back of him really gently, my nose hitting the underfloor of his car. Just a tiny bit of little fiberglass damage, but otherwise both cars are absolutely fine and we continue racing. Heart rate was a little bit higher. In the panic, selected fourth there, should have really taken third to get a better run up the hill. But at the end of the day, just glad I survived that incident. But this is the best thing about racing. Doesn't matter, you've got to keep pushing and try and catch up to him. What a beautiful sunset drive this was. Sending it at 120 down this hill, sticking to the right down to fourth gear, trying to keep the traction as we exit this, take the inside curve and out wide. Sometimes running a little bit wide like I did there. But in the distance we see a bit of smoke. Rob's locked up, so we know that the pressure's getting to him as well. If you like this race so far, there's a lot more to come, but please do like and subscribe to my channel. With your help and support, I aim to be challenging some of the guys mid-pack and at the front of the pack into next season. another lock up here, getting excited behind the helmet, knowing that I should be able to catch him at some point soon. By now I figured out turn 1's one of my stronger corners, so managed to reduce the gap. Ice skating through this corner, Rob's faster out of it. I was definitely nervous going through there most of the race, purely because in race 1 I managed to spin in that hairpin. Here I'm just staying back, looking to set up the final corner for an overtake on the main straight. Even though we've both been making mistakes into it, I was confident that that's where I was going to get him. Watch my hands on the exit. Wow, this was a big save. Really, really surprised I didn't end up in the barrier here. Fatigue was becoming a factor here. I know we're only 4 laps in, however muscles started to ache in the shoulders and arms after 2 days of racing, and also the mental stress of the amount of adrenaline pumping through you, trying to keep up and not make a mistake. Still having issues with that hairpin. At least I didn't end up off the track like I did in race 1. Take a look if you haven't seen that video already. Down to 4th, hard on the power, trying to take the inside curb and then run wide, but it's up over a hill, so it's very difficult to see that exit curb. I will soon be getting a helmet visor cam, so you can see the racing from the driver's point of view. Flat out along the main straight, down to 4th. Trying to take the inside and then run wide, taking as much of the exit curb as possible. Good run down the hill here into the sunset, trying to stay as far right as possible, drop to 4th gear. A little bit of oversteer there, taking a lot of the curb on the way out. Flat out, up the hill, up to 5th, up to 6th, down on the brakes, trying to take the chicane in 3rd. Better exit out the chicane. Now Rob usually gets a better run up this hill, but seemed to have done pretty well to stay at least the same distance behind him. Might actually be gaining slightly here. Later on the brakes, getting really close to him now. He makes a little mistake there. Really good exit here to scrub off a little bit of oversteer. We're right on his bumper now. We're getting a lot of good slipstream. We pop it out. We're going for it down into turn 1. We're right up alongside him. A little later on the brakes and we get the move done. Turn 1. So now we're sending it down this hill and Rob is right on my bumper still. I don't know why I took the same line as usual out wide. I left the door wide open for him to go out the inside. I did think I had the switch back on, but I don't know why I bothered with that when I could have just stayed in the middle and defended the position. Fair play to Rob for coming back at me. Can we do it again before the end of the race? Rob moving to the right there, to the middle of the track to defend, so I can't repeat the move into turn 1 down the inside. Really should have just stayed on the power there, didn't have the confidence in the tyre or the grip, so unfortunately backed off, but really should have gone for it. Might be able to do some moves out of turn 1 here. Not that it's ever had much traction out of it, but seems to be much closer. Both of us completely missing the inside apex there. Really should be attacking that inside apex like Rob with a lot more speed, but I seem to want to go out left, try and miss the first apex, take a straight line on the second. Definitely not the right line to be taking. A little lock up there, exactly what we want, hoping to get a better exit here and be able to take down the straight, but oh wow. Really lucky there not to go off the track. I absolutely thought I was going to end up in the barriers there. This just shows what pushing, being right on the limit of your ability can be like. Pretty happy with how we're keeping on him here, just keeping the same distance, waiting for the opportunity, possibly out of the final turn, down the main straight. Yeah, we definitely gained on him a bit here, he's gone a bit sideways. Fairly good exit for myself, not too much oversteer. Could be an opportunity on here, let's have a look. Knowing that there can't be many laps left, really considering the move into turn 1 again there, just trying to stick right behind him. I think we're going to be able to go for it here. Do we go down the inside? No, he blocks off nicely, so can we take it there? No, unfortunately not, so we'll go out wide, try the usual. Back on the power, a bit earlier than Rob. Can we stick with him into the hairpin? Do we go for the lunge down the inside? No, he covers it off and does really well there. Absolute gapped me on this straight. God, he's far off in the distance. Hopefully we're going to be able to catch him before the end. As I go up over the hill, I'll just tap the grass on the right with the rears and you'll hear it spinning up. Rotates the car really nicely there, heavy on the brakes and knocks it right round. Really good move from Rob, and he gets a much better exit out of the final corner. Not really going to have much of a chance to turn one down the straight here. Got a lot of work to do on the final lap. Little lock up from Rob means he misses the apex of the chicane, goes onto the grass for the second. I get a little bit out of whack there, get right up onto his bumper, and now it's all about the exit. Hesitant on the throttle, we're not wanting to rear end him, want to try and keep on his bumper as we go up the hill. Better exit here. Looks like we're going to stick with him for the main straight. Probably thinking this might be the last lap. He covers off the inside, knowing that I won't better go there. Thinks I'm really far back. Get really close to him. It's all about the better exit here. Get really close again. Bit of oversteer. We keep it on the track, and he gets the better exit. And we're now just racing to the checkered flag and crossing the line. Only 0.4 of a second between each other. Absolutely brilliant racing there. So grateful to the marshals, all the organisers, and of course Mr. Rob Bailey for the fantastic race. Look at that view into the sunset. Thanking the spectators and the marshals as we drive round. Honestly, absolutely shattered. Couldn't believe how good the racing was and thoroughly enjoyed it. Here's the damage to Rob's under tray. Just a little bit out of the fiberglass, nothing too major.